From PlebLab in Austin, Texas, this is Stacker News Live!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. I'm Car. I'm with Keyan on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday. No, Friday. Thinking about Saturday.
What's happening? Is something cool happening?
Yeah, tomorrow we're doing the LARP.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you not done one of those before?
Yeah, we did the very first one she ever did.
No way.
Yeah, the old PlebLab.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's supposed to be a new alpha version.
Okay.
I don't know.
What is going on in this one?
Surprises.
Use splicing or something?
You should come tomorrow, Keyan. Bring the wife.
Yeah,
She'll enjoy it.
I don't know.
This is the world famous Bitcoin LARP.
It is world famous.
It is world famous.
There are people in other parts of the world that know about it.
Yeah. How's your week?
It was a good week. It was a long week. I just, we'll get into it a little bit, but there were a couple days I pushed like a really big change this week, and it was, it had a fantastic amount of bugs in it. Sure. And so, trying to fix all those was most of the week, but it was a great week. It was nice.
Yeah, I'll say, man, like building in Bitcoin, building in Lightning's really, really hard. It's not easy. And it's hard for multiple reasons. Most stackers don't know this, but just funding in general, just trying to get any kind of funding for your project or for any developer that's doing amazing things is really hard. And then you tack on all this extra weight of like building on the stack, and that's really hard. And then to top it off is like all the Web3 gets all the attention and all that kind of stuff. That's really even more hard. And then we're in the cold, dark bear market right now. It's even 10 times harder. So once you pick yourself up of all those things, then you can get to really start building. But hey, man, this is why Bitcoiners build, because we like stuff hard, I guess. Even David Marcus. Did you see that? David Marcus sent out a tweet. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Oh, you subscribe to David Marcus's tweets?
No, he was on Twitter talking about this. I was talking about it with Saru earlier, but he brought up the same thing. So even he's seen.
Do we just get bigger on the?
Yeah, right here. Yeah, he said it right here. I'm decided to talk more about inner workings and Lightspark. So yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's gonna be a little bit.
Yeah, but he talks about how hard it is.
What is it? When did he tweet that out?
The 29th.
29th. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why that changed our.
Maybe.
We look really big now.
Yeah, our heads are. It's just our heads.
It's weird. Let me hit back. I don't know. Did I change something here?
I don't. It's like when you open.
Here, you read the top 5 stories.
Okay.
You read the top story of the week, so and then I'll fix this.
This is your first time tuning in. Car and I go over the top 5 stories from Stacker News every week, and we cover like the comments and stuff, and we try to give a little color to them. But that's what we do, and so we're gonna start. We were going to start this week by talking about one of the bugs that I introduced on Monday, and it was this is kind of a follow up to that, but it was a bug where I rewarded Stacker News users, or stackers as we call them. I rewarded them 876 Bitcoins in total. And then one stacker managed to withdraw them before I woke up and noticed that the problem happened, because the rewards go off at midnight, and I was asleep, and I woke up at 5 to a text message from someone saying that the site was down. And then I go on and I noticed that there is a serious problem with rewards. And then I go and check, and it turns out most people didn't withdraw the rewards. I mean, only one person did, and the person who withdrew them withdrew 20 million sats. I have an update on this, though. The person has given me back as far as I know right now, 14 million of those sats.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to take that 14 million sats, and over the next 90 days, we're going to drop them into rewards. So I want to punish myself for making this mistake. That's how I like to deal with mistakes that I make, as I want them. I want a painful reminder of them. But in this way, we get this benefits stackers, and I still on some level lose. And the stacker who managed to withdraw, gets to keep some for doing the right thing and giving some of them back.
Yeah, I couldn't fix it, but we'll fix it for next time. I think because I'm running everything off the same laptop.
I see.
Anyways, what I was going to say is I think there's something to be said about being transparent about this. I think most of us know inside the lab that you're not saying it, but there's a piece of software that you use that kind of caused it.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not it.
This is unrelated.
Okay.
So what led to this problem in general, we'll try to get through this fast because we have a lot of stories to cover, but what led to this problem in general was I changed a lot of the code. I updated nearly every part of the code in an attempt to modernize our stack, because we've just been dealing with old software for 2 years. And one of the changes I made resulted in this bug happening. They changed their API to return different values, and I didn't realize it in my testing. And so this happened. There was a separate issue and another thing that I updated where the servers would crash every 10 minutes, basically, intermittently. And so for 2 days, I was pretty much having to restart a server, one of several in our cluster every 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Otherwise all of them would eventually go down and the entire site would go down. This is why the site was offline 2 nights in a row, because I didn't realize this was happening to the extent that it was until I did. And then so I finally fixed that. So that was also fixed. This is just this is the cost of writing software and trying to do it as nimbly as possible. You're going to create quite a few problems. Anyway. And so I wrote this, this is about the bug here. This is the post I wrote about the bug. I wanted to share exactly what happened. I had people asking me if I could do a postmortem on what happened. And so I did it. I also wanted people to know that this is that I made this mistake. I'm capable of making this type of mistake.
I was shocked. I've never seen you make a mistake.
I mean, I make mistakes all the time. I haven't made a mistake like this before, yet, but,
you're pretty just for the stackers who are listening. I've known Keyan for a while now, and he's very detailed focused. He's made me more detail focused, I would say. But I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, I mean I just wanted people to know that it happened and the way it happened, and it felt if I didn't, I could choose not to say anything.
Yeah, that's never.
And the reason why you might not hear about other companies making mistakes like this isn't because they haven't made them. It's because they're not telling you about them, because they somehow think it's, I don't know, it looks bad on them.
And this post.
Yeah, that's kind of what motivated this is I think this, part of why I share things in public is for who I was in the past. And this is what I wanted to see. I want to be that. I want to be the person that the person in the past wished they were able to see building. And it's not all about the wins. It's not all about the moments where a breakthrough is made or a success is had.
Those are easy. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not easy. They're easy to communicate.
Yeah.
It's really, most of the journey is like this. And so I wanted to just communicate that. I wanted to encourage other builders, if they're doing things like only talking about the things that their successes, or, doing worse things like lying about the successes they've had, or taking credit for other people's work. that you're doing a disservice to everyone who's paying attention to you and possibly, looking to you for inspiration.
Yeah, I think this is a really good post. I think there's something to be said. I feel like, at least here in the lab, I feel like a lot of us share our own losses with each other, but this is kind of taking another step, because you can share your losses with each other, and then you can share your losses with your community. And then some, if you have advisors, stuff like that, and it's another step when you share it with everybody in the world. So hats off to that. Hopefully I'll get there at some point. I'm not there. I'm more of a person that likes to share losses, people close to me, and like stakeholders and advisors and stuff. But this is hats off to you for doing that.
I think it's fine. I mean, I think it's a fine way to do it too. I'm not saying, I personally like to put it all on display, and because I want to feel who I am all the time. Yeah. And feel and own it. But, one of the benefits of actually sharing this that I didn't expect to have happened is people who would normally never speak a word about Stacker News or talk about Stacker News suddenly began talking about, some of our loss. So, talking about what wasn't a dunk exactly, but was like, it became interesting for them to talk about. Like, we had never been in knobs before, Stacker News, and we got on knobs for this.
What's knobs?
No BS Bitcoin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had never been on No BS Bitcoin, and finally we're on No BS Bitcoin because we made a mistake.
I think you just kind of have to take those on the chin, and I think you have. I'm not saying you haven't. I just think those I really think those kind of don't matter at the end of the day. No disrespect to knobs. I mean, like the outside doesn't matter. It's more about the community that you're building inside of Stacker News that matters. It's talking to them. I'm not saying anything. I don't have much of an issue with it. It's mostly, it's interesting. It's like if you're building in public, you're sharing your wins. There are people will celebrate you for that. And then there are some people who will only celebrate your losses for some reason. And so if you share both, you will get both of them to celebrate you at some point, and it's to your benefit. Anyway, this is the whole thing. We got most of the sats back, and we'll be distributing those back in rewards. I'll be also changing rewards so that they're distributed more evenly and they're a little more fun. Yeah. So that was the top post. This was the meta post following that. What post was this? Because I saw this. This was for a few hours. I was a millionaire. My story.
Yeah. So this is a stacker who received some of the sats from the bug. So again, we actually rewarded 876 Bitcoin to the top zappers for that day. Most of those zappers received so many sats that they actually couldn't even access the site. It broke their account. Wow. But for people who only received a small sliver of the 876 Bitcoin, they could still access their account. And Yamabyte was one of them. I think Yamabyte was only supposed to receive, a couple, maybe tens of sats for the day. But because we made this mistake, they received 15 million.
Gosh.
And likewise with the stacker that ended up withdrawing, I think they might have ended up something like 60 million sats and withdrew 20 million. Wow. But this was, the Yamabyte did not withdraw any of those sats. So.
Yeah, we had B Orange says 15 million BTC is great, but not life-changing, at least in a big part of the Western world one day, perhaps.
Not yet.
Yeah. Cool. All right. With all that stackers, let's get into, this is the number two top story of the week, right? Yeah. So this one is, let's discuss El Salvador's volcano tokens. Here's absolutely everything. This is from Maller's Head, July 29th, Bitcoin post, 56 comments, 16,000 sats. Can you believe it? It's a volcano. Look at that. You think that's, what is that? You think that's like one of those, AI images?
It might be one of those from like Sailor's Instagram account where he's not posting booty pics, but he's posting.
What does that guy
like
do all
Bitcoin.
day? He's just on a yacht smoking cigars, making AI images.
I don't think do you think he smokes cigars?
Oh, totally does.
I don't know. I think he's more of just like a diet Coke.
You can tell when people smoke cigars, their face is more leathery.
Wow. that's like a lot. I don't know what to say to that. Anyway, this post is about the volcano bonds. It's a really good deep dive. I really enjoyed reading it. I actually wasn't expecting to get so much information about volcano bonds. I thought I'd get like a broad overview, but they kind of reach out a little farther into like the implications of it and attempt to pull in other geopolitical factors that are going on into the story. I'm
kind of surprised they even show how you can get volcano tokens. I didn't know you had to use that app though. That was kind of
so you have to use a blockstream agreement. Green, it looks like, allows you to buy these token securities.
Steps,
yeah. So if you want to get some, I think it's like $30 is like the token cost. And I think you have to at most buy, or at minimum buy one token. But it just kind of goes into like how the actual volcano bond, is that what they call it? The volcano tokens are structured, and how the bond is structured, how the payout works, what you can expect to receive in return. But one of the more, and that's all kind of interesting, particularly if you're interested in investing in it. But what I found more interesting was some of the commentary on where the money is coming from to I think,
is it this part here?
To like pay for the yield. No, it's where that link is. You see that Doctroid link right there with a quote there? It says, how will they pay for that coupon, consumption taxes, mining tourism, anything they get from the IMF, lol. But then he brings up this associated project that was actually proposed by China in El Salvador.
What is going on here?
Which is in the exact same region of El Salvador that Bitcoin City is being built in now. And so, and apparently China at one point offered to buy all of El Salvador's outstanding debt.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was like,
who did the research? Is this
Maller's Head?
Wow. Maller's Head.
Yeah.
Golly, look at this. Man, this is some really good research.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty, I don't know. I don't know.
Down to like, what is this? This looks like a cow. What's it called?
Yeah.
Cow.
Yeah. So as far as I know, there is no tie-in with China in the Bitcoin City project. This is just, it just has, it has
this from. Looks like he got this smuggled or something.
Yeah, I know, right?
Dude, you have like undercover journalists working at Stacker News now.
Yeah.
Jeez, there's snackers everywhere. It looks like. Okay, so this is what El Salvador is going to look like in 5 years.
I don't know. That might be the Chinese version. Maybe it'll be like different now that it's.
I don't know, man. I think for me, if it sounds like this screen right here, if it sounds too good to be true, looks too good to be true, it's probably a security.
Oh, well, it is a security.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Well,
stack Bitcoin.
Yeah. So he gets into that. Like, why are people even considering buying the volcano tokens if they can just stack Bitcoin and, presume like if like the volcano bonds are only going to do well if Bitcoin accrues in value anyways, why wouldn't you just buy the underlying asset? And it gets into it. It's more, there's lots of reasons why people invest in other things. And he actually, or they speculate that what'll likely happen is it'll get snapped up immediately just for novelty. Like the whole thing will be covered.
Yeah. You got a Llama Byte. He says, seriously, ? Has everyone forgotten the point of crypto? Then Maller's Head jumps and goes, I'm with you. That's what the code card is for. Some would argue these are less crypto and more modern security. And like all securities, a person or business must be registered to sell them. So yeah, I think it's for people like Raoul Pal.
Like who?
Like Raoul Pal. Remember that guy, Raoul Pal? Raoul Pal? Is his name Raoul Pal?
Raoul Pal?
No, he's like
that
crypto
guy. Oh, okay.
They call him Rug Paul now.
I see.
But,
I call him
I feel like it's like
bracelets.
for people like him and his kind of community. That's what this feels like.
Rich people.
No, they're just like crypto degenerates, investing in like tokens and all sorts of AI tokens and stuff. It's like, this feels like that.
I see.
Seems like the stackers agree. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a lot of the sentiment outside.
Yeah,
I mean,
look, Blockchain Boog says this is security, not crypto. Yeah. So I mean, this guy Fiat Denier says worse than a S coin, and you have the S company Tether running it, not going to end well.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't think the sentiment among stackers is necessarily bullish or bearish on it. It seems like it's mostly, there's some debate about what it actually is.
But the stackers aren't going to hold back. They're going to call it like it is. I mean, so it's, yeah. Next top story is why everyone should care about privacy. This is from Kepford Tech Post, August 2nd. 5,000 sat boost, 29 comments, 14,000 sats. So you made the sats back on the boost. That's good to see. What is this about?
Yeah. So this is about motivating people who are maybe not concerned about privacy to be concerned about it. And you had that poll a couple of weeks ago where you asked people, like, if a Bitcoin company starts KYCing you, do you care?
No one cared. 60% didn't care.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't care. And this is basically the argument for why they should. And I think it does a great job of kind of informing us of the reasons why you should care, and how you might start to care is also something else that's covered in this. And it kind of covers this threat modeling idea. If you're maybe trying to get a grasp of like how private you should actually become. My favorite, like one of the most common, like among normal people, when you bring up privacy, they think you mean secrecy. And so,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do. And so they're like, I don't need secrecy. Is more or less what they say when they say, I don't need privacy. And really,
I've heard that before from normies, typically
from normal people.
Yeah.
So it opens up just like disambiguating the terms with a quote from a Cypherpunks manifesto. It says a private matter is something one doesn't want the whole world to know, but a secret matter is something one doesn't want anyone to know. Mm-hmm. Privacy is the power to selectively reveal oneself to the world. And so it's privacy is just giving yourself a choice in what information you're giving other people. And without you making any statements about whether you need that information hidden or not. It's just not removing the choice from yourself.
Yeah, he even goes through the steps everyone should do. He says use a password manager like Bitwarden, use Signal, use Molvad, use Proton Mail, use Graphene Calyx, simple login. We got Public NME says, question regarding Proton Mail, Kepford. Do you suggest for a first-time user setting up a Proton Mail address to use as an alias, or does it matter? And then he talks a little bit more. He goes, are you meaning use an email address that doesn't use your real name or your alias for your real name? Honestly, it just depends on what you're using it for. Check it out, Stackers. There's a whole conversation happening here about privacy. So there's malware. Yeah. So it's just good stuff in here. Following up to this post is the number 3 top story of the week. This is my Graphene OS journey so far. This is from Siggy47, 49 comments, 6,383 sats. This is a July 31st tech post. Man, Privacy Week, Stacker News Live.
Yes. We're getting, I mean, the community is getting quite a bit into privacy, and I like to see it. Because I haven't been.
Do you think it's a mutiny effect?
I think in part, mutiny is probably, interesting people in privacy, given that they're sounding the alarm.
I've been hanging out with those guys for 2 years at this point. I'm definitely more privacy paranoid than I was before.
No, a lot of the features that we've introduced on Stacker News are informed by recommendations that Tony made.
Look, there you go. It just shows you, man.
Yeah. I mean, like the ability to hide your cowboy hat, the ability to hide yourself from top users, the ability to remove your invoice description, all suggested by Tony or actually Super.
So it's a little over time. It just slowly moves. Everybody slowly moves that way. It seems like it's going to take a long time, but
yep.
What is this top post?
Yeah. So this top post is about Siggy's continuing journey on switching to graphene. They did a post, I don't know, maybe a month ago about them actually making the transition. And this is like kind of after their transition and getting comfortable with graphene OS. And it's nice to hear that it sounds mostly painless. And they're going the extra mile and really, not using any Google stuff at all, not using Google Maps.
Do they have a free Maps?
They do.
Do they really?
Yeah. So they have a privacy focused organic maps.
Oh, wow.
Is what
That's
they
good.
It uses an open street maps and has no ads or tracking. Apparently it's not great yet for road routes, but it'll get there. It'll get better.
Look at all this. He goes really in depth with what apps he has. He uses Stacker News PWA. He's using Amethyst, Mole Browser. Wow, making it really easy for you stackers to get on privacy.
I've got to switch. I mean, I wish I had more time because I would.
There was a post Tony posted yesterday when he was watching RHR, and he had the flip out one where he was like, he had it like this, where it was just like this, and then he was able, from what I saw is like, it's a de-Googled flip out one, which looked dope, dude. Looked really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
pretty sweet, dude.
Yeah. Pretty cool. I haven't there's some stackers who are really into the whole FOSS, self-sovereign privacy stack. People who are running Linux on their computers.
Yeah, stackers, if you're out there listening, post more of that stuff. I think stuff like this with Siggy, right? Siggy on this one? Is this Siggy? Yeah. Stuff like this, it makes a big difference for people that are like on the fence. So if you're out there listening, make another one of these. I'll vote it up. Because I think it would be cool to see multiple ones of these. Like, okay, now how do you do this on a Mac? Or do you even use a Mac? Do you use something different like System 47 or one of these other laptops? So yeah, more of these stackers. More of these. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, very cool for I'm getting actually encouraged to do some of
I'm
this
getting
stuff.
FOMO too. Once I saw that flip out thing, I was like, whoa, that looks so cool. That's the world I want to live in.
I want to be private. I want to be cypherpunk. I want to be cool.
You are cool. Keyan.
All right.
The next top story is proof of work, kids. This is from Gray Ruby, 16 comments, 4,522 sats. Is an August 2nd Bitcoin post. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit spread here. Bitcoin posts, tech posts. Haven't seen any Nostr posts.
No, not this week.
Yeah,
there were a few Nostr posts, but not a lot of commentary.
Slow news out there in Nostr world.
Well, at least it's probably not making its way onto Stacker News, maybe. But proof of work, kids, is kind of, it's Gray Ruby asking us what are we teaching our kids, or
okay.
what are some of our mantras?
What are you teaching your kids, Keyan? You got 17 of them.
My non-existent kids. I don't know. I like a lot. I mostly chimed in and said I like a lot of Gray Ruby's mantras. I think they're exactly what you want to teach a kid, and it's mostly how to interact with themselves internally, and how to enforce maybe the correct or appropriate behavior on yourself. I'm struggling to articulate it, but it's things like be diligent, put in a full effort, hold yourself to account. He's like, it's mostly he's informing his kids to think a lot about to examine their own characters. And that's really, but you see a lot of other people focused on other aspects of their children, like their careers, what they're learning, and it's all very external. I think the only thing that you should maybe be reinforcing as a parent is like the one thing that isn't ever going to change. And that's like who the child is, like what's their character. And I thought this was great. I think this is spot on.
Yeah. I think there's a lot there. I think one thing that I would add, I don't have kids, by the way, but,
that we know of.
Calm down. I would say, and I don't see it here. I would say love and devotion.
Well, was that the mantra or is that the?
No, I think that's just something that, I think that's something that you should teach your kids,
Teach them how to love.
Yeah. That's important.
That's
the world is it's a very jaded world out there. It's only going to get a lot darker and a lot meaner. So it's really important to have that little bit of light in you. And you can teach them all the other things too, but not everybody's a pod bug eating person. Cool. That's the top 5 stories of the week on Stacker News. These are the ones that you voted for, Stackers. I had nothing to do with this. This next part here is where we get into Car's picks, into Keyan's picks. This is Keyan's first pick of the week. This is Kenya suspends crypto project world count. Of course, you picked this one over safety concerns. This is from B Orange, 12 comments, 2,500 sats, August 2nd, tech posts. Dude, a lot of tech posts this week.
Yeah. I thought this was a great update to the WorldCoin saga.
What's going on with this?
Well, they were scanning eyeballs in Kenya.
Whoa.
And, like they're doing all over the world right now and giving people, the world's shitcoin in exchange for their iris scan. And Kenya, I don't know, apparently it somehow got to the Kenyan authorities and they decided to stop it because they're not really sure whether this is actually good for their citizenry or not.
Local media have reported that more than 350,000 Kenyans have signed up for WorldCoin as of Tuesday in exchange for securities. Since its launch, people, dude, I will say this is not going to end well. It just doesn't look like it's going to end well. I don't know what the end game is on this, but this feels entirely like this could go a million different ways, but I feel like there's only one way it's really going to go. It's going to end bad, dude.
I mean, I'm not exactly sure how it ends, but it seems like some people are, people who are government are usually kind of like deaf and numb to like what's going on. They're actually concerned. I don't like
Meta tried this 3 years ago. Facebook tried it with the Libra coin. And then they had the congressional hearings and everything like that. Do you remember that? It was a whole thing.
I definitely remember that. I definitely, so governments feel if they feel like they're threatened if someone is trying to establish, they feel like someone
it's called WorldCoin. Someone
who has a significant position of authority, like someone like Sam Altman now does as a result of OpenAI, is stepping up to create a currency that can compete with their local one. Yeah, I could see how they're upset about that. This is mostly interesting because I think it actually is bad for the citizenry, or at least, I think it's bad and probably should appear bad on the face of it. But what I was reading on Twitter is that people who are kind of aware of the crypto ecosystem are like bussing in people who aren't, paying them in local currency to have their iris scanned at one of these WorldCoin scanners, and taking the WorldCoin and then, making money on the other person getting their iris.
I can see people like getting people's eyeballs now. Like Minority Report, where they go like that.
That's what you have to worry about with like these incentive systems. Is it create like there are behaviors that it ends up creating, and so if you can't think about like several orders of consequences, like things can get really weird. Like,
incentives matter, man. and doesn't seem like it seems like who was this, Altman? You said Sam Altman didn't think about that, or maybe he did, and he's just YOLOing. We got Sudanica. He said, "How long until their database is hacked?" Are you going under a year, over a year? I'll go under a year.
I would say maybe longer.
You would say longer?
Maybe it's already been hacked. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
Someone out there maybe already has all of these people's iris information. I don't know exactly what information they're collecting, but there was in that article, there was like a weird quote from one of the WorldCoin people that says they value privacy. So I was like, what? It's like one of the first things they said. So they must know.
Now they're just trolling.
Yeah, they must know it's like a concern.
Gosh. All right. Well, good thing Keyan's keeping an eye on this.
Yeah, an eye on it.
Yeah, that's why.
Haha.
The next, your next top story. I think we both shared this one. The splicing merged into CLN. Let's effing go. This is. Did you see what happened? Yeah.
So previously, we talked about splicing last time when it made its way into Phoenix Wallet and the Eclair implementation of Lightning. And it's now been merged into Core Lightning. So we're getting now two of the four most popular Lightning implementations have splicing in them now.
It's incredible, dude.
Yeah, and splicing is great. I just observed you using Phoenix earlier today, and I was like, everyone I know actually. I was observing another person in the lab earlier making a Lightning payment, and they were also using Phoenix.
I'm using a lot of different Lightning apps.
We all are, but everyone's at least experimenting with Phoenix right now. And
I have too many friends that do these wallets, Keyan, so I can't pick one.
That's true, but
you can though.
I can, but I haven't used Phoenix yet. But splicing is a big deal for the user experience on Lightning, and I think it's making a difference, and really cool to see in another implementation.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, this is awesome.
I think Dusty, he gives a shout out to Nifty here. I think Dusty was one of the, I think Dusty began working on splicing before anyone in Lightning did. And I think
I remember him talking about this like 2 years ago at Shiners, dude, just after BitDevs and talking about all this stuff and sitting there drinking a beer with him. And like, I was like, yo, that sounds cool, man. But not knowing what was going to happen.
But it's here now. And I think he made the first splice on the Lightning network ever too. And I think, just a little bit behind, Eclair on the release side, but way ahead on the conceptual getting started.
Yeah, check it out, Sackers, if you want to read more. We got my top story of the week. This is a KR post. How Siggy47 stacked over 500,000 sats on Stacker News. 15 comments, 707 sats. So this is a meta post, but I didn't know KR interviewed Siggy. And he talks about like how he stacked over 500,000 sats on Stacker News. And then he goes in more in depth and like talks about like how he got into Bitcoin. He had a lot of great things to say about you. I was shocked. I was like, wow.
I'm shocked too.
But isn't it incredible that he earned that much though?
Siggy posts a lot. It does seem like, I wouldn't have guessed he had earned that much because it seems like, it's a trickle over time and it's not a lot yet. It feels like on a regular basis. But Siggy is probably one of the most active users and in every respect, commenting, posting, and zapping. And I think, that it shows that something's sort of working if Siggy is earning because he should be earning quite a bit of sats.
Yeah, you got Bird Eye 21. He said on this post, great listen, Siggy47. Newcomers to Stacker News should go and read his article, The Zen of Stacking Sats on Stacker News. I think that's incredible, man. I think it's incredible that he's been able to accomplish this. That's a massive feat. And I use Stacker News a lot. I've been using it for a long time and I haven't even earned that much.
Yeah, but you're not a user. Siggy's like a power user.
He's a power user. He's a power stacker.
He's like the site goes down and he's like, what happened?
Yeah. Cool. Great post. Just want to share that one. Let's get into the top. Here, don't tell me. This is how we do it. You go to stackers.
That's right.
You go to week stacked, right?
Okay, you're good.
There you go. See,
there you go.
Learning.
Top stackers of the week.
Got maths.
Maths is posting a lot of content. Some people suspect maths is AI generated stuff, but we'll
find out.
We'll find out. Exeus stacked quite a bit.
Siggy
again. Yeah. That's where the sats come from.
Julian
from the Philippines.
Oh wow. And Gray Ruby. Scoresby's on there too. Look at that.
Oh yeah, Scoresby always brings it.
Oh, did you see that Darth Coin came back?
He came back momentarily. People were accusing Darth Coin of being the stacker that withdrew sats because I had mentioned that they were
too much integrity. It was based off the online stuff.
It was an early stacker who withdrew them, and I had good things to say about the stacker, and so people were like, "Oh, it must be Darth. It's Darth Coin." There are also people who are like Darth Coin's enemy.
Hey, send him some zaps right now, stackers. Darth Coin's back.
Yeah, but he's back. He said he's not going to be back for long. He has to go back to building his citadel.
That's cool.
Yeah,
hopefully he has a write up on that. The next one we have are the
spenders. You want to go to Cowboys? Okay,
we'll go to spenders.
No, Cowboys are fine. Let's do.
Oh my god.
Yeah, top Cowboys. It looks like the rankings haven't changed much over the last week. No one's dropped out.
Boringest segment in Bitcoin.
Siggy is still the top. Car's just mad because he can't seem to hold on.
No, look, my alternate account has 4 days.
Wow. All right.
There you go.
So he's maybe learning, guys. Give him some time, some patience.
I'm not gonna beat Siggy. It's just not gonna happen.
Well, Siggy could drop out. I mean,
Blockchain Boog is coming for him. Look at that.
Blockchain Boon's coming up. Exeus is up there.
Look, Ben the Carmen. Look at that.
Ben the Carmen. Yeah. Doing it.
Now they should all be scared.
Coming for you.
Ben the Carmen's coming for you. This is a new segment I want to add, stackers. This is my Cars Let's Have Fun segment. Meme Monday. If you don't know, every Monday on Stacker News is like I hate Mondays. You know this, Keyan. How much do I complain about Mondays?
I mean, you don't complain. You're just grumpy.
I'm grumpy. I hate Mondays. I come in. I'm like the most just jerk on Monday morning. Yeah. The only thing that gets me out of my jerk mode is coming to Meme Monday on Stacker News and laughing my butt off. But look at this one. This one this week. I just think people should be able to save in money instead of securities in houses. He's talking to the FBI and he goes, domestic terrorists.
That was the winner.
This is my favorite one too. LMAO, you stupid effing idiot, buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, it looks like an 8, like one of those 8 balls that you shake up.
Somebody should make a Bitcoin orb. And then it just says like buy Bitcoin. Like everywhere there's a world coin, one of these, you just put a Bitcoin orb right next to it. That'd be great. We should all do that. Yeah, this one's a good one too. Just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things. It's also called garbage can.
I like this one. Not Bitcoin related, but I like that one too.
So a lot of good ones. I think.
Do you want to cover Pleb Devs? The one featuring Super here.
Oh, this one, yeah.
I don't.
So this was kind of funny. We're laughing in the lab. 2020. This is what Super was doing, living in a penthouse.
Yeah. So is it? This is a joke on the bear market, right?
Yeah. This is a joke on the bear market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. He was living in a penthouse. Now he's
he's living in a penthouse in like France and like 1640 or something.
But yeah, stackers, if you're listening, get there on Monday, man. Throw your best memes and you can win 25,000 sats like that. When do you announce it? Do you announce it the next morning or do you announce it that evening?
Well, KR manages the.
Oh, Rook picks this?
Rook posts this, and he also.
How do y'all determine the top meme?
Well, by the ranking, by the zapping.
Okay. So
the zap, so stackers are choosing what the top memes are. And, this week that one won. And then KR will also take the other memes and post them on, I think he'll take like a top 5 and post them out over the course of the week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a fun little thing.
That's cool. I just want to share that because I think it's funny. Keyan, what are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing this weekend? I don't know. There's still some bugs I need to fix on Stacker News that I shipped. There's like just, kind of small things. We're almost through all of the problems that I created. Yeah. So I'll be doing that. And then I don't think I have anything like fun to talk about. I don't like anything that other people think is fun. But that's mostly what I'm doing. What are you up to? The LARP, right? The LARP tomorrow. I have some work I have to get done, just like some stuff in the afternoon. And then, that's about it. We got the Stackers on Fountain. They said Car on WBD made it to the big leagues. This is on last week's Scanner Orbly. And we got had you been on? Did we film the last episode after you were on, or was that on Monday this week that you were? No, we filmed this on Friday. But I think it came out Sunday. Okay. And then Blockchain Book, he said zap. So yeah. Zap. Stackers, if you're out there, if you see the orb, don't put your face to it. You go up to it, get a Bitcoin orb right next to it, and let people choose. I bet you, if Altman put a Bitcoin orb right next to the crazy orb that he has, people are going to go right to the orange orb. What do you think? Yeah, give people a choice. It's like give people a choice. Yeah. Altman, come on. It's like where a couple is fighting over a pet. Like they're breaking up, they have a pet. They put the pet in the middle, and then they stand on either side of the pet. And whoever the pet comes to, that's who the pet goes with. Stackers. I think they do this with children too. I'm not sure. I'm not a parent. Stackers, so watch your eyeballs. I'm telling you, they're going to get more aggressive. I can only imagine, dude, if they try to throw one here in Austin, what do you think would happen to that thing? Oh, I don't know. It's with so many Bitcoiners in this area. Oh my gosh. I don't think Bitcoiners aren't, I don't feel like they're that violent. Oh no, I'm not saying they're violent. It would just be interesting to see what would happen. I think people would be probably like, what the heck? But I don't think much would happen. It would be interesting to take the orb, replace it with one, you put your eye up to it, and it's like it does like Bitcoin animations or what, like one of those slideshow things. Yeah. Anyway. All right, Stackers. You have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Zap.